Welcome to the Clear the Air podcast with D and Q.
I'm D.
And I'm Q. Let's air it out, brother.
Finally, because you know I was about to get in you because you was about to jump right in. You know, I like that hat too, bro.
I like it too. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
I like it.
Coordinated.
You got to coordinate. John Witherspoon. We're going to talk about him a little later too.
Yeah. Bang, bang, bang.
Oh my God. Yo, April Fool's Day. My dad's birthday. I just want to say this, man. I think we don't give comedians the love they deserve. And let me tell you what I mean when I say that. It's a tough world, man. You probably always had someone that got up on a stage in their home somewhere with the intent to make people laugh.
Yeah. What was it? Was it the Jesters? Who used to do that? Jesters who was it that would make the king do something for the king? They would perform. What is it? The Jester?
I don't know, but you going back to the remember the time?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson days.
Look, you talk about Roman Empire. I'm like, we had when we
My life.
when the
Chris
ever
Tucker.
the same.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
But you have always had in history, and especially in our history, where comedy was, we referred to it. Yeah. If I'm being honest, my wife, when she sits down to watch movies, if it's not a comedy, it's gonna be a struggle to find a movie. So, comedians, okay, they're necessary. Oftentimes, comedians have been, I like to call them the ministers of laughing. Okay, I like that. But what's dope about that is, for example, I remember Marlon Wayans, him and Sean talking about at their grandmother's funeral, they were cracking jokes.
That's great. But they just, that family is just oozing with humor and talent. And just, so that don't come as a surprise to me. Mm-hmm. And again, in depth, you hear a lot of times celebrate life, celebration of life. So I'm sure that's probably how they celebrated their grandmother's life.
Yeah.
So the thing about comedy and comedians, it's a big part of our lives because we talk about it a lot, and we watch stand-ups. I'll be like, yo, you ever seen so and so new stand-up? And some of our favorite movies that we have in common have comedians as the main characters in them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, with April here and April Fool's Day, we just wanted to bring that aspect about comedy, but we wanted to put a twist on it.
Mm-hmm. We just want to talk about comedians and identify comedians who our favorite. I guess you can say our favorite three, our top three. We're not trying to get into a debate of who's the GOAT and who everyone else says is the top five. I think we need to stop doing that too, by the way. Again, let's just appreciate people for who they are, and who your favorite is might not be somebody else's favorite.
Yeah, not everything deserves a comparison. Not everything deserves a list. And I get it. It's for discussion. It's for conversation. It's for fodder. But sometimes just sit back and enjoy it. Not everything has to be compared.
And by the way, this is tough for us. Like in my mind, I'm changing my third person every 30 seconds in my head while I'm talking to you. So we're gonna let you kick it off, man. Who are your top three?
So I broke mine down a little differently. I'm gonna give my favorite for free. I broke it down as far as like different aspects of it. So one aspect is, who's my favorite comedian who has turned that into a movie career or whatever kind of career. Mm-hmm. Then I have, my favorite just probably stand-up comedian. Mm-hmm. And then I had somebody that's kind of off the grid, somebody that may not be as known, but is definitely one of my favorites. So my first one, I'm gonna say Eddie Murphy. I think Eddie, from the time he started doing stand-up, then Saturday Night Live, and then he became this huge movie star. We often talk about Bull Ring and how high that movie ranks on our personal favorite. Here I am talking about it don't need to be a list, and we talking about a list, but we often talk about Boomerang.
But our favorite.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
comparing
We ain't
it,
saying, your list is your list, but we both, know how much Boomerang means to us.
Right.
And so, but yeah, Eddie Murphy, I just remember younger, Beverly Hills Cop and Golden Child and Coming to America, all them classic joints. So yeah. My favorite stand-up, just pure stand, and I got a lot, man. I love, Cedric the Entertainer, and, all those guys. But I think my favorite probably still is Chris Rock. And I like Chris Rock because, one, he's funny, but I remember one time he said,
Tina Luther King?
Tina Luther King?
I had to.
I say that all the time, and he busts out laughing every time I say it. That's crazy he did that. But on one of his stand-ups, he says, he comes out with stand-ups because when things happen in the world, so he has stuff to talk about. And he talks about things that are going on. And he does it from a funny and interesting perspective. And I think what I like about him is he don't sugarcoat stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
He don't care about race. He'll talk about black people. He'll talk about white people. You know what I mean? Like he just, I feel like I just like the way he does things and puts a spin on things. You know what I mean? I've just always been a huge Chris Rock fan. And my third one is somebody that's one of my favorites, but it's kind of like off the grid. And when I say off the grid, he might not be well known to the masses.
Right.
But he's been in the game for a long time. He's definitely one of my favorites. And that's TK Kirkland, my OG. Shout out my OG TK Kirkland.
He's 60 years old, isn't he?
OG is 63. Yeah. He's been down since NWA. He went on tour with them. He actually was, he opened their show when they were on tour.
He opened their show?
Yeah, and with like a comedy part. Yeah, he opened their show. He's in 50 Cent's Window Shopper video. He's in some of their video. Yeah. TK been around for a minute, man.
He from Jersey, ain't he?
Originally, yes. Yes, he is. I actually, he was in the area a couple weeks ago, and I was able to catch up with him, catch his show. Yeah, he actually had a meet and greet. So I saw him there, and then I told him I was gonna come to the show, so we came to the show. Real cool cat, text with him. Just really good dude. But again, I like him and his comedy's not for everybody. He can be kind of vulgar, but again, I like as he says, it's a show, but it's also a seminar. You know what I mean? Like he gonna keep it 100, bro, and that's what I like because he tried to teach you things as well. Because again, he's 63, so he's seen a lot, he's known a lot, he's made some mistakes, and he's not afraid to talk about those mistakes. Yeah, TK Kirkland, bro. And whenever he's in the area, I try to catch him. So, but yeah, just a really good dude. Like I said, I call him my OG, and he's funny to me. So those are my three. But again, I have a lot. Yeah.
So with TK, I love when you say like he tries to teach you something. Like I don't think I've ever seen anything like comedian-ish from him. Now he is funny, just in interviews, which is where I see him. So you'll easily see him on Vlad. I like to see him on Vlad.
Right.
And talking about certain topics and different things. Now what
it'd be funny because they have to be like, TK was the first to do this, or TK was there when something. Or I told him to do this and this and this. Yeah, it's kind of a running joke with him.
And what I like about TK is the history of him being around. Like he's been around for a lot of stuff in history that happened in hip hop too. So
and we're gonna talk about hip hop.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
50
hip-hop.
years.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. But I got another question for you since you said Chris Rock, where everything that's going on with him. Have you seen the Netflix special?
I have not. I will soon because I heard a lot about it. I think he shot it in Baltimore, right? Was the show in Baltimore?
That I don't know.
I think he was in Baltimore.
I think you're right.
Yeah. But no, I haven't seen it. I have seen him live though. I want to say his last tour, he came and I saw him and it was real funny.
Yeah.
But this was years ago, so I don't think it was his last tour. But yeah, super funny. And hopefully we'll do a short later, and I will say, yeah, I watched it, and do that. But I wanted to watch it because I know he discussed the Will Smith incident, and of course, I heard about that. So yeah, it's on my agenda to watch it fairly soon. Your 3, brother.
Oh man.
Well, first, are you going to do like I did and break it down different way? Or you just going to do your 3?
Let's just flow.
All right.
Let's just flow.
Let it flow.
So for me, Tony Braxton. So for me,
unbraid my heart.
no.
All right, go ahead.
So Bernie Mac is my favorite, and one of the reasons is because whenever you can see, when someone has impacted your life by what you do in your life from what you've seen or how you were influenced. So, House Party 3. One of my all-time favorite movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
One
I
of
didn't
my
know
all-time
that.
favorite
Because
movies.
House Party is my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
All time.
Which is why I'm surprised, because who was ingratiated in your life big time was Martin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was shocked he didn't say Martin.
Well, only reason I didn't say Martin is because I think Martin only had 2 stand-ups. Run Tell That, You So Crazy. You So Crazy is classic. Run Tell That was good. But he also had Def Jam too. So I can't forget that. Yeah, he definitely had Def Jam. But in regards to like movie star, I had to pick Eddie.
No. Eddie is one of mine too.
Yeah, Martin is definitely right there for sure. And I mean, sitcom wise, like my favorite sitcom, hands down.
Yeah.
You know what? Martin could be up there.
Stop.
See, it's your fault.
It's my fault.
It's your fault. But oh man, I could give. Do I want to give Martin over Eddie?
Nope.
Because I forgot about the sitcom.
I still don't think you can.
I forgot about the sitcom.
I think his body of work in classic movies.
Yeah, but that sitcom though, bro. All right, I'm staying with
Now you gotta stick with it. You already went. Now shut up, so I can get mine.
My bad.
So I'm going with Bernie.
Okay.
Speaking of sitcom, his show when he's talking, okay, America.
Like we do, right?
I like that. Yeah, I like that. And it's
was he the first to do that?
In that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, in that way. And
Okay.
so you have that. You have Def. Now Def Jam. My dad. Shout out to my dad. He had the VHSs of Def Jam. I ain't scared of you, mother.
Kick it.
I'm blessed. I'm gonna stop because it's
looking good.
Oh my God, son! And we know what's crazy? I don't think I've ever watched that entire Kings of Comedy or seen his entire part.
No.
I'm being honest. So how you gonna say that's your favorite? Now just imagine I'm saying that's my favorite and I haven't seen that.
Wow, really? Bro, he closed the show.
What was the movie? I forget the name of it, but there was a movie where Zoe Saldana was his daughter.
Zoe Saldana? I don't know what you said.
What did he say?
You talking about
that was a joke, April Fools.
Yeah, no, that was a butchered name. That's
April
what that was.
Fools.
I know what movie you talking about.
I forget it. But anyway.
But Ashton Kutcher.
was the
Guess Who?
Guess Who
or something.
Guess Who?
Which is a remake.
Yes.
Did you know that?
It was a remake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a remake.
Yes. So I think that was dope. What's funny is we were looking on Twitter earlier, looking at topics, trending topics, and "you people" was one of the things. If you remember, Ashton Kutcher said that in the movie, "You people," and that started a whole uproar.
Ain't that new movie called "You People" with Laura London and Eddie Murphy?
I think so.
And
Eddie Murphy.
what's my homie? Is it Seth? What's the guy name?
I forget his name. I forget his name. But I like him.
Yeah. For sure.
I think is he Jewish?
I don't know.
If he's not, he played Jewish in that. All right, look, he had his goal. Let me finish.
He in the joint with anyway. Go ahead.
So let me go back for a minute. One of the things I always do when it comes to Bernie Mac is, and my kids laugh at me when it comes to this because I'm always saying it, like a big egg sandwich. And they
You say that all the
all the time, all the time. If I'm talking about my wife, she's like a big egg sandwich, and that comes from that. And that movie, like that movie, was just so many people in it. Chris Tucker. I'm not gonna go into it. My next person, okay, my next person is Jamie Foxx.
Now, Jamie was not your second, but I said his name, and you was like,
Okay.
nah, I gotta put Jamie.
Okay, so
who was
I
your
said
original?
Martin because of the sitcom. So how it was a close second, and I almost was shocked that he didn't say it because a lot of his personality, I feel like, is Martin related because of the sitcom.
Yep.
But I think I said it because he didn't say it.
But as soon as I said Jamie Foxx, you was like, oh, I gotta go with Jamie.
Yes, and again, the reason why I'm going with Jamie is because I remember I might need security
All of it.
from, and I was in college. And Jamie, so another reason that ties us together and why I said it was because I looked at that with when we were at JMU. Shout out to my boy Chris and Henry from VA because we would watch it together and be on the floor. We'll come from church or we'll, be hanging out and listen to that and just be on the floor.
Yeah.
Also, what was
I actually, I had that DVD set. It was straight from the Foxhole. I forgot what the second one was.
You
And the
had
third, yeah, and then the third one is I Might Need Security.
Where'd you get it from? Like Walmart or something?
I bought it back in the day, but it was a joint. It has all three.
I need that.
I actually keep it in my truck. Yeah, so if I'm on a long trip,
And he ain't got
on
his
the
truck
road,
with him.
Yeah, I don't have my truck with me this time. But yeah, I keep it in there, so long drives, throw that joint on.
I'm gonna need that.
Yeah.
The reason also why is because two reasons. Jamie Foxx and that specific, why that has such an imprint on my life. A lot of times I'll go, right. Y'all have to see it to know what we're talking about. Shout out to y'all who know what we're talking about and that makes you bust out laughing just because we said it. But it was dope. That was one of the things. Talking about passing gas.
Flatulence.
But that was one of the things. But also one of the things that I think is dope about Jamie is that, as y'all know, playing on alcohol. The boy can sing.
Super talented.
Yeah, play the piano, he can sing, and he'll do that after the show.
Yep, every at the end of each show.
Each show.
He does a performance
Yeah.
on the piano. The brother is talented. He's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He's definitely one of my favorites for sure.
And he had a sitcom, the Jamie
Yeah.
Foxx show.
Yep.
But you cannot forget about how long he's been in the game with, what's the show called?
Oh, Living
Jamie
Color.
And Living Color.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Living Color. So look, y'all gonna laugh at this one, and I've changed. So my third, I've changed so much.
First
So-
of all, did
so-
you know,
so
you know
much.
Jamie Foxx is not his real name. He changed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And shout out to
Side
Jamie.
note.
Shout out to Jamie Foxx also because something that I think really touched me. You think of like dang, I got two more things to say why Jamie. And going back to his singing, but as a married man, I think it's dope how he did the song. Like you would actually think he was married to Francesca Garcelle Bouveau. Did I murder her name?
Bouvet.
See,
Bouvet.
that was a joke. So French. Point being is that was etched in our minds, and I remember my boy Henry, he would end up singing that because good old country church boy, and so he would end up singing that, just singing it, and then we would get to jamming in the church and just kind of remix different things and different whatever. So that was the thing, but then also what was the other thing with Jamie?
Mary, quite contrary.
Yeah, see, little stuff like that. But also what was dope with Jamie, and I say it's dope because, again, we always talk about double standards of us being emotional. He got on Oprah and talked about how he lost a daughter, and he made a song for her. So what you like is when you're able to see people that you're able to relate to them. And what's crazy is this. Let me tell you what's crazy. Us as men, we find it very hard to express our emotions, but oftentimes when we share them, we might not say anything, but we can relate to pain and loss. And so, thank the Lord I didn't lose any children at a young age, or even through childbirth. But that just kind of stuck with me. And he shared that on Oprah. and he did a song. I forget what the song was called. Very beautiful song. So
I don't know if I knew that.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, and speaking of that, his child, he has a very talented daughter who's an actress as well. Yeah, and she's following in his footsteps. She's very talented. So yeah. Shout out to Jamie. Definitely one of my favorites. Probably, I know it's definitely one of my favorite stand-ups.
Yeah.
That collection, bro. Constant play. Constant play.
This is where it gets a little interesting.
Here he go.
And he gonna hit me upside the head.
Here he go.
So
Y'all watch this.
So listen, kind of like how he did, he gave a person that you wouldn't have imagined or thought. And I said,
What you say?
I said Jamie.
Yeah,
I said,
exactly. Yeah, you close. Yeah, you close.
I said Jim Carrey. Let me tell you why I said Jim Carrey.
Let me tell you something.
Well, no, let me tell you something. The reason I said Jim Carrey is number one because you probably wouldn't have thought I would have said that.
Facts.
That's the main reason why I said it. But that's also going back to the In Living Color situation. You gotta give him love because he was able to hold it down on his, as what, the only white male talent on In Living Color.
And was hilarious.
Still is hilarious. Now, he's taking a different kind of point in life now. Actually, I just heard he's a believer.
Oh, okay.
He was talking about, his faith. So that was kind of dope.
Yeah, that's dope. But you know what I've noticed about him? He's very introspective. Like you would think he's kind of a clown, always
Right.
hilarious because you got Ace Ventura and The Mask and what's the joint he had, the Holy Powers? Bruce Almighty,
yeah.
stuff like that. You would think he just
The Cable Man.
yeah, the cable guy, the cable guy, yeah.
My bad. See?
And Dumb and Dumber,
Oh, my
yeah, exactly. But there have been like certain interviews I've seen of his, or it'll be like a lot of clips sometimes. Be like, and he's very introspective, bro. Very wise. Yeah. I remember the one time he was on some late night talk show, and I think Nike just did something. I don't know if it was with Kaepernick or something. They had just made a big stand with something. And he was like, shout out to Nike. he had the whole tracksuit on. But he's like, yeah, shout out to Nike. Yeah, I'm just rocking my Nikes. Yeah. I was like, oh, what?
What's funny about it is because you could imagine him from his
it was
movie.
like this rant. Yeah. Shout out to Nike. Somebody said, yo, y'all gotta look it up, bro. It was so dog. It was so hilarious. But yeah, he's a very, very wise. You know, he spits a lot of wisdom, and he's been around. One thing I like about him, he always talks about how he always shows appreciation to the Wayans family, the brothers, how they gave him that chance and this and that. Man, Living Color, what a time to be alive.
Oh my God.
So many talented people.
Oh my God.
And they all still doing their thing.
Yep.
Look, you got J-Lo as one of the dancers on there. Go back and see those legendary performances. We talk about performances at the end. That might be what Jamie got that idea from.
Maybe.
Because at the end of the show, they always have somebody perform.
Mm-hmm. So the reason why that was tough is because I played with, should I go with Jim Carrey? Should I go with John Witherspoon, as you saw how we bust out the show with? Should I go with Mike Epps, who, oh my God. Should I go with Dave Chappelle? He's another one that's like Chris Rock, who anybody can get the smoke, but it's not out of judgment. And a lot of things in recent past he's taken some heat for, but shout out to Dave Chappelle.
I like people like Tony Roberts, Arnaz J, Lavelle Crawford, Bruce.
Now hold up. I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna clear it.
Oh, and some of the ladies too. Oh, Samoa.
Oh.
Oh man. Oh my God.
Her last joint wasn't that.
Jess Niche. She's a new new comedian. She's funny. Who am I forgetting? Adele Givens. Oh, Monique. Adele Givens. Oh my God. Who am I? It's more.
It's so many more. And I
Jess hilarious. You know, I've heard she's pretty funny. I've never seen a show of her, but I heard Jess is pretty funny. Shout out to up and coming Desi Banks, HaHa Davis, our guy Rennie.
Who I actually was going to say.
My brother Rennie.
That I was actually going to go with for the same reason of how he went with. Somebody who y'all wouldn't imagine.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to switch it and actually say Rennie.
No, keep Jim. Keep Jim.
Oh, all right, Jim Carrey.
Keep Jim, because we're going
/ Rennie.
Keep Jim so I can keep laughing at you. But now we're going to do another episode with the up and comers.
We could do that.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
y'all going to love the idea of the up and comers, because one of these up and comers that I might have mentioned, we have already kind of interviewed.
I don't
know what he's talking about either. But listen, let's clear the air and let's say this. I think, again, one of the things we wanted to do was appreciate comedians, appreciate how in the toughest parts of our lives, when we just feel like we need a laugh, we could turn on the TV, we could go on Instagram, we could go on YouTube. Oh man.
Deon Cole. How we forget Deon Cole?
Deon Cole, but hold up, I got one. Corporate Business. Dude out of Chicago, dreads. He's very funny. And he does, they're like shows, series. Okay, Black Chicago be like hilarious stuff. Hilarious.
What's my name? Donnell Rawlins.
Donnell Rawlins.
Donnell Rawlins.
Some of the, Ricky Smiley. The point
oh my
is,
God. Oh,
see what I'm saying? Listen, the point is,
Dude,
we
DL.
could go this, we could do this, DL Hughley. We could go all to Steve Harvey. We could go all day talking about people. The point is, we want to give love to all of them. If we did not mention you, we don't mean no harm.
Yeah.
It's so many people that we could have mentioned. As you can see, when you're trying to do the top 3, it's very hard.
Godfrey.
Because if you talk about Rennie, but when you talk about Rennie, you gotta talk about Godfrey because they say they look alike.
Yeah.
So,
Lil Duval. How we forget Lil Duval?
Because you can't mention everybody.
What's my man? Oh my God. The Bengals fan. Double wide. Gary Owen. The guy that do Gary Owen. Gary Owen was definitely up there. Yeah, Gary Owen is funny.
That can mix between cultures too.
Yeah. But that's what I like with him.
Yeah. He was married to a black woman.
Yeah. Gary Owen.
So again, we just want to say thank you to all the comedians who have had an impact on our lives, the comedians that we haven't heard that are impacting other lives, or we can just turn on the TV, whatever presence you have, find you and get to laughing. So many more people. I got a guy in my mind that's popping up now, and I end up finding out about he's from DC.
Chicago. Damon Williams. Damon Williams is funny.
There's so many
Damon
people.
Williams.
We gotta stop because we're just gonna keep going. But for more stuff like this, we want to ask you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. For the video experience, for the audio experience, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, don't forget that you can find us on all social media platforms. Do you know that there's so many people that view our stuff but they don't follow or subscribe?
Right.
We need y'all help. We need y'all help.
Y'all be peeking.
We need it for the algorithm. Plus, we don't want y'all to miss anything. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. That is where you will find us. Again, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Go find us, holler at us. We love you. We're out.
Peace.